All right, guys, so I'm actually going to show you exactly how I scaled Kihua and Kenan from 7K per month, stuck for months on end in their SMA, all the way to 47K per month in the first 30 days of me actually partnering up with them. Now, this was a pretty fucking crazy case study, so I'm going to show you guys all the outreach methods, all the sales tactics we use, all the show rate protocols we use as well, and also all the massively mindset shifts we did as well, right? So they actually flew to Dubai to see me, and they literally cash collected like 13K in the first 3 days they've actually gotten into Dubai, which was pretty wild. So very excited for this. Going to show you guys a ton of sauce. No one really else is actually going to show you this, so if you guys can't spend like literally 10 minutes or whatever it's going to be to actually learn all the sauce, then you're just going to waste even more months of your time, right? This is very, very valuable information. So let's get into it. Now, first of all, the actual mindset shifts. And also, by the way, this is the actual proof. So officially, they actually joined the mentorship on 20th of July. I partnered up with them. Yo, what's up, guys? Let me fully transparent here. I was actually looking back at the screenshots. It was actually technically 8K to about 33K in 4 weeks, and then 8K to about 47K, because we also had cash out, bank transfer, stuff like that, in about 5.5, 6 weeks. So it is. Now they're doing 63K per month, but at the time, we literally scaled from 7K to 47K, which is pretty wild stuff, right? They're stuck for months on end. Anyways, let's get into it. So, mindset. Now, the biggest thing was actually breaking their ego, because at the start, they thought that 7K per month was like a lot for them. So they were literally thinking, oh, I'm making 7K per month at SMA, I'm making like a lot of money. But in reality, I know they're 19 years old, but in reality, it's actually not a lot of money, because it actually benefits you to actually think that. Even if you think it's a lot of money, you're going to subconsciously limit yourself because you're at a comfortable stage, right? The moment that you have more pleasure attached with being stagnant and not growing, and more pain attached with growing, that's a moment where you're just not going to fucking grow, right? So what you have to do is switch that. I'll show you guys in a bit as well. So therefore, they got comfortable. Therefore, they had more pain attached with growing and had more pleasure with being stagnant, like I said. Therefore, subconsciously, they were getting held back, and they weren't actually scaling. They were all stuck at 7K per month for months because of this before. So I said, you guys are only making like 7K per month. Absolutely nothing. You guys are brokies. You should be saving yourself. I didn't actually say that, but you guys have a lot of potential, and I showed them actually what's possible. So therefore, I established a new paradigm. Therefore, establishing a new self-image of someone who's at 50K per month. Therefore, new actions, beliefs, and thoughts align with that new 50K per month version of themselves, and therefore they actually got there in the first 30 days, right? So also what happened is we actually flipped it, and now they had more pleasure with growing and more pain with being stagnant, right? This is literally the key. This is why you guys are being stuck and you're not growing. It's because simply you just have more pleasure with being stagnant and more pain with growing, right? That's the moment you're not going to do it, right? Next thing is actually flying to Dubai, because this is also breaking your ego as well. The moment you pull up here, right, there's literally yachts and like a $1 billion building, that one, the Atlantis Royale behind me. So, and there's literally people in my building right now doing like $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, and one guy even printed $1 million over a weekend. So, and he's literally my age as well. So, just the moment that I'm around that kind of thing, and these guys are also around that, it's like you're never ever going to get complacent or comfortable, because the moment that you guys get complacent, you think you're making a lot of money, is when you're not going to fucking scale. So, that's that. Now, also what happened is they actually broke a lot more limiting beliefs around money, because they both grew up in somewhat non-wealthy households, let's say, so they weren't really used to making all this money kind of things, right? So what happens is they actually tapped into wealth frequency here in Dubai and made 13K in the first 3 days of actually landing here, right? So next thing is they actually visualized 100K a month with this method called 1 month patterning, which I will go into later on. Some of you guys might know it. It's pretty much a visualization technique used by the CIA, and I've also used it myself to crack certain revenue numbers or acquire certain things in life as well. So jump into a new parallel reality of 50K per month, and also establish a new self-image where their actions, beliefs, and thoughts all align with that 47K per month or 50K per month version of themselves, therefore bringing themselves to actually 47K per month as well, right? So that's that. Now, next thing, fixing choke rate. So the next thing we actually did was actually establishing more high-value touch points between the first contact point and the actual sales call, because what was happening their choke rate was actually very low, because they're actually mainly doing cold calls. Now, so what happens actually when you do cold calls is there's not enough like preconceived value attached to the call if you don't say the right things in the call. For example, if you guys are not going to show any social proof on the first initial cold call, or you're not going to really incentivize the person to actually show up, then they're not going to show up to the fucking call, right? The moment that you attach a lot of perceived value to that you call, right? More social proof and establishing authority in the industry, and also adding a back-end VSL and pre-call video, right? But like I said, the more value that you could actually attach to the call, the more social proof you can actually call. For example, saying like, oh, actually, yeah, another person last week, they actually showed up to the call, and we actually showed them how to do a 5-star Google review campaign, and they actually ended up just free over the call, and they actually ended up getting top rank in their actual local area, and they started making a bunch more money, started closing a bunch more clients, right? Because of that. And now they're literally number one ranked in the area, and all that person did was just show up to call. So if you want to do the same, I'm actually more than happy to do that as well. I'll see you at 3 p.m. Wednesday, whatever, blah, blah, right? So once again, we're attaching their dream outcome more to the actual call with low effort input, right? This is literally how you get anyone to do anything you want, is you literally just have to attach their dream outcome with low energy input, right? That's all it is. And the way to increase their perceived value of getting to that dream outcome is by using things like social proof or things like just pretty much just attaching more value to the actual call, right? So that's that. Also adding back in VSL pre-call videos, that's actually huge as well. So pretty much your show up rates are going to increase, and also your closing rates will also increase as well the moment you do this, because you are establishing more of authority as well, right? And more social proof as well. Also on top of this, you're actually establishing way more familiarity, right? Because if you guys actually think of when was the last time you actually bought from someone online and that was the first time you've ever seen them before, you've literally never done that in your entire life. So what you guys are expecting in SMA is the complete opposite. Everyone in SMA thinks, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna get on a sales call with this random guy named John, and I'm gonna ask him to pay me $5K over the internet. He didn't know that existed a day before I actually cold called him, right? If you actually think what's going on there, like that doesn't make any sense. So what you need to do is establish high authority, high value touch points between the sales call and the actual cold call, right? The actual first contact point, right? So doing things like pre-call videos is gonna be absolutely huge for that, right? So next thing with actually outreach, let's get into outreach. So pretty much what we did was we actually stopped everything else, right? So, and even though we didn't really stop too much, but this is more applicable to you guys. So if you guys are doing cold email, cold DMs, cold calling, cold SMS, like paid ads, everything, just literally stop everything that you're doing that isn't giving you a high ROI compared to the actual energy input, right? For example, if you guys have literally just like low energy input for high ROI, then obviously that's going to be good, right? There's literally a scale to this, right? So if you have like super high energy input and there's no ROI, obviously it's not going to be a fucking good option, right? But the moment you have low energy input but super high ROI, then that's when you do it, right? So for example, this could be cold email, or this could be Facebook DMs, or whatever it is, right? You need to learn how to leverage yourself and literally install automations in your business. For example, hiring out people. That's exactly what we did as well, which I'll go into right now, right? So first thing we did was actually added 2 new methods. So the first one was actually cold SMS. So obviously make sure you get HTTP verified across multiple sub accounts ASAP. It's the number one most important thing you guys have to do. Then I actually showed them how to auto scrape first names plus phone numbers using softwares and filter it using ClearUp Phone. So ClearUp Phone is pretty much a software where you guys will actually use it when you're actually sending cold SMS to people, right? Because what it does is it actually filters out the landlines from the personal phone numbers, right? So what you're able to do is get all these personal phone numbers and also of these business owners and also first names, and then just send a cold SMS to all of them. Whenever they respond, then you call them up and you book them in for a meeting, right? We were sending out a few hundred per day and getting a lot of meetings booked in, right? Sometimes you can even have high as 5% booking rate. So if you send out whatever is 200 messages a day, then you get 10 meetings booked in, right? Very simple, right? So for example, let's say we were starting to send out 300 SMS per day, 5% response rate, call list 15 per day, and then you book in 7 per day, and that led into 7 meetings a day. Obviously, this is very broad, rough numbers. This is not exactly what happened. I'm kind of just giving you guys a quick picture of what to kind of expect and also what we actually did here, right? So next thing, we actually hired out 3 cold callers. And we also gave them scripts, training, leads, etc. through SOPs. So yeah, this is actually the exact script that I was using when I was actually also filming the video in the Dubai penthouse. So I literally filmed that video and we had a 30% booking rate for the night. So I had 30% booking rate of dials. Like, this script is so fucking valuable. So make sure if you guys want to, like, okay, obviously don't share this with everyone, but like people who are watching this right now, this is literally worth thousands of dollars right now, because I'm actually probably going to sell this later on as like a low ticket offer. But like, this is actually so valuable because it's literally worth $1,000. Because if you even increase your booking rate by 10% or something like that, or even 5%, that's worth tens of thousands of dollars instantly, right? So that's kind of how it works. I won't go into the script entirely now, but pretty much this is the one that works the best that I found. Few things to keep in mind is make sure you guys' tonality is literally on par. Make sure it's absolutely amazing, because if it's not, then you guys are just wasting time and have no booking rates and blame it on the script, right? Then you're going to think, oh, cold calling, shit, it doesn't work, but it actually all just came down to your tonality, right? So that's that. Also creating SOPs on how to scrape leads and also call leads as well, right? Very simple. So let's say we're doing $300 per day, 5% booking rate, even though mine was 30% in the video, and then you book in 15 meetings per day, right? So let's say we have 20 booked meetings per day, even though that math didn't actually add up, but let's just say 20 on average. Obviously, it wasn't on average, but I'm kind of giving you guys some rough numbers just to kind of briefly show you how it works. Let's say 65% show up rate, 13 shows per day, close to clients per day at 2K per month times 3 months, and then you equal, let's say 4K per month per day. Now, obviously, this math is not going to add up and everything. I'm just showing you guys what's actually possible if you kind of dial in on these numbers, right? So if you literally, all you have to focus on is just hiring out cold callers, start doing cold SMS, add in back in VSL, have the good mindset, and you guys will literally be there. It's actually not that deep. There's obviously a lot more things to it, like more just mindset shifts and stuff like that. But as a rough idea, as long as you guys hire out the right cold callers and do the right average methods and also have the right mindsets, because when you're actually scaling with the mindset stuff, right? With mindset, it's not like you hit the goal and then you get the mindset. You have to become the type of person who is even able to achieve that goal in the first place by also breaking limiting beliefs as well, right? So, for example, these guys had a bunch of limiting beliefs. I won't get into them now, but I know for a fact right now, if you're not at your goal, you have limiting beliefs around your goal, right? Let me actually ask you this. Do you feel safe hitting 50K per month? If you have any sort of hesitation or any sort of resistance towards saying yes, or maybe you say yes but your throat clenches up or something like that, you have a subconscious block to actually get there, right? Because I actually was talking to this like hypnotist the other day, and he was charging like 50K for one-on-one coaching. I didn't actually do it, but he actually asked me this. He asked me, Eric, does it feel safe to be at 250K per month? And I said yes, because my ego was trying to justify me being there. However, my throat clenched up. So I actually had a bunch of limiting beliefs and kind of subconscious blocks around actually scaling, right? So this is going to be pretty applicable to guys at any stage, any era. Even if you are at zero, like it's going to still be very applicable to you, because there are certain things that will block you from getting there. Even if how much willpower you use or whatever it is, like these guys were trying for months and months on end to actually try to scale, and they still somehow couldn't do it. And once they actually switched their mindset using my methods in the actual mentorship, then they fucking got there, right? There's obviously a bunch of mindset shifts we did, but I would honestly say these were like the main ones. I actually won't get into this one method. I'll actually keep that a secret, but there's also one more thing that they did. Quite a few more things actually, but I won't get into that now, but that's kind of the whole video, guys. So I also just scaled a bunch of other guys, like for example, Fabricio, he was struggling as well and also another mindset thing as well, right? Fabricio, he was struggling for months on end, I think actually close to a year, or I don't know, 6 months, whatever it was. An SMA, he signed a client before, like for 2K a month, and his mindset was just struggling. Like he literally was texting me, Eric, I want to swap niches, right? And then literally within 30 days of joining, he used certain mindset shifts that I provided him, and then went from 0 to a 10K cash collected week on Stripe. I've already shown you guys in literally the first 30 days of actually joining the mentorship, because he just switches mindset. That's all it is. It all comes down to limiting beliefs, your self-image, and also manifesting as well, right? Big thing is actually manifesting. But if you guys do want to become a mentee, these guys actually pulled up to Dubai. They met me. We're hanging out a lot. We're even living together for a night, actually. And yeah, just do a bunch of other stuff, going to dinners, all that stuff. Obviously, you guys want to get similar results to these guys. If you are in a similar kind of income range, around 7K per month or even 0, whatever it is, you're kind of first starting out, you already have an existing agency. All you have to do is just DM me on Instagram. Happy to help you guys. Happy to mentor you guys. And that's pretty much it. So just DM me on Instagram, Eric Kavelaars. See you guys in Dubai. I'm actually going back to Canada for the next 30 days after this. So yeah, that's it. Love you guys so much, and take care. See you guys very soon. See ya.